Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Lawndale Hawthorne Community Television, Channel 22's presentation of Bay League action. It is Leuzinger High School, the Olympians, hosting West Warriors. West Torrance now batting. Glad that you joined us as Rockmore sends a fly ball into left field, and that is caught by the left fielder, Kevin Phillips, for the first out of the game. Well, happy that you joined us. It's been a while since we've seen you on Channel 22, and it's kind of a cool day for baseball. Kind of warms, but the sun is hiding in and out of the clouds, and so it's one of those days where it's a good day for baseball. As Dan Torres steps in against Steven Paez. Paez, the big right-hander, big left-hander, I should say, throws it into Johnny Membrano, and it goes low for a ball. Matt Rockmore led things off for the Warriors, then Dan Torres in the batter's box right now. He'll be followed by Tony Asaro on the inside corner for a strike. So the West Warriors come into the Bay League in fourth place with a 12-8 record altogether overall, and in league they're 2-2. Leuzinger, who had such a great start to their season at 8-7. Right now they're, well, I guess you could call them the strongest team in the league. They're holding everybody up at the bottom, 0-4 so far, giving up 117 runs. Curveball is low. So it's a 3-1 count to Dan Torres, the second baseman for the Warriors. It's Paez with the pitch, and that's on the inside corner to make the count full at 3-2. We'll go over the defense for you in just a moment. Going to watch Dan Torres against Steven Paez. Paez, nice off-speed pitch and swung on a miss. Membrano drops it but tags him out. So the first strikeout of the afternoon for Steven Paez. And that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Tony Asaro, the left fielder. Tony, 6'3", 215-pound senior, can play at the hot corner at third base and at catcher today. He's out in left field. So Steven Paez nibbling in that corner and finding it with regularity so far. This was hit high and deep into left field. Back goes Phillips, and it is gone. A home run for Tony Asaro, and it's 1-0 Warriors on the big home run to left field by Asaro. So for Tony Asaro, that's his 3rd home run of the year and his 16th RBI of the year. Just found a pitch too much to his liking, got it up in that wind that's blowing from the first baseline to left field, and it just went out of here, as all Phillips and Adauto could do is watch it go away. That'll bring up Kyle Leamy, the third baseman. It's 1-0 Warriors, just the start of things here at Leuzinger High. That's a little low. Leamy's the third baseman for Juan Cueva's Warriors. Let's set up the defense for you for the Olympians as we wait for Paez's next pitch. Curveball bends in for a strike. It's 1-1. Kevin Phillips is out in left field for the Olympians. James Adauto in center field. Salvador Ramirez is in right. Get the infielders for you in just a second. Hacked foul. Over at third base for Leuzinger is Sal Zambrano. And at shortstop, the slick fielding, Randolph. Jeff Villanueva's over at second. Hector Diaz at first. Behind the plate, it's Johnny Membreno. And on the mound, Stephen Paez. Fastball, boy, that had some nice movement on it. And he hits it out of play. So it's still 1-2. Leamy, 6'3", 185, also a senior. So he's hanging tough. Stephen Paez, who's on the mound for Leuzinger, is the RBI leader in the Bay League with 17 RBIs. Nice pickup by Paez as he gets it over to first base, and Hector Diaz for the final out of the inning. 1 run on a hit, a big booming shot by Tony Asaro, and it's 1-0 as we go into the bottom of the first inning, where Leuzinger will face the Warriors and Philip Hans when we come back. Philip Hans when we come back on Channel 22 Sports. Let's see, did I turn this off? We're back at Leuzinger High School where it's 1-0 Warriors. Now we're in the bottom of the first inning. And the first pitch from Philip Hans is down low to Jeff Villanueva. Villanueva, left-handed hitter. Hits it down the first baseline into foul territory. And over for it is the second baseman to put it away, Dan Torrance. So a good play by Torrance, and it's 1 down. That'll bring up Saul Zambrano. He'll be followed by Randolph. Zambrano playing third base for the Olympians. Saul batting .333. That'll wake you up. Philip Hans on the mound with a 1.806 ERA. Has pitched in 31 innings, as that one's up high. Is 2-4 on the season. Has given up 8 earned runs of his 13. This one's sent straight up in the air and out of play. It's not going to hit us. So Philip Hans, kind of a tough luck pitcher. A brilliant ERA at 1.8, but a record of 2-4. Zambrano waiting for the next pitch. Fastball burns in for a strike. Olympians last game, they were shut out 8-0 by South Torrance. Ground ball towards the hole. Big hop for the third baseman. Throws it over a little high, but stays on the bag. Nice play by Kyle Leamy. That'll bring up Randolph. Randolph batting .343 with 2 home runs and 10 RBI. Inside to Randolph. The young man can flat out play. Randolph, a 6'2" senior. Foul back, it's 1-1. Randolph with a pretty good on-base percentage. of 512. Check that. It's 425. Slugging percentage of 600. Now it's 2-1. Has 12 hits and has scored 14 runs. So when he gets on base, he can make things happen. Here comes the 2-1. That was a little bit high, but Randolph liked it. Wanted to tie it up. Coaching over at third base for the Olympians, Joel Romero, the head coach of the Olympians. This one's grounded over to Leamy, who throws over to first base, and that'll do it for the Olympians, down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. We go to the second inning with the Warriors still leading 1-0 on Channel 22 Sports. We're back here at Leuzinger High School. Leading off the top of the second inning, it'll be Mark Osland, the designated hitter for the Warriors, who has an 0-1 count. Sends this one down the line into right field. Long way for Ramirez to come, and can't get it. And it's a fair ball, says the umpire. And now coming over to third base is Osland, and he's going to make it standing up. A leadoff triple for the Warriors in the top of the first inning by Mark Osland. Well, that's not the way the Olympians wanted to start this off. And that'll bring up Kyle Quintero, the catcher. So Paez gave up a first inning home run, and now another long triple that just kept slicing away from Ramirez.
Okay, Paul, I'm going to turn your camera off. I want you to disconnect the camera cable and reconnect it, okay?
Paez checking over at Osland. Not too much of a lead down there at third. Paez off the mound, getting the runner back. Quintero hitting .311 on the season so far. That's the second strikeout of the game, and that gets Quintero looking. And that'll bring up Aaron Bensoa. Aaron playing first base today for the Warriors, hitting .238. Another big kid for this Warrior team. 6'1", 200-pound senior. Made a couple of nice stretches in the bottom of the first inning. Sends that one the other way, but it's foul. That's exactly what Mark Osland did to lead off the inning and sent it down the right field line. Ramirez just couldn't get it. Made a nice diving attempt. But then by the time the ball got back into the infield, Osland was back at third base, was on third base with the triple. One out in the top of the second. 1-0 Warriors. As the infield is in to try to prevent the run. So 2-1 the count to Bensoa. Who has 9 RBI and 1 home run. straight up in the air. Don't think it has any chance of staying in play, and it goes out of play. So it remains, changes to 2-2 now. Two and two with one down. This one goes off of Membreno, but made a good play just to keep it to his right. And there's not a whole lot of room from home plate to the backstop. So staying over at third base is Mark Osland. So that fills up the count at 3-2. Big pitch here for Steven Paez. Swung on and missed, foul tipped into the glove of Membreno, and another strikeout for Paez. That's number 3, and what a big one that is. With the man on third base, now it's 2 down for Nick Jones, the right fielder. Jones batting .261, has a chance to pick up another RBI, has 6 of them on the season, has 12 hits, so uses his hits very well. So there's that corner that Paez was hitting in the first inning. Shied away from it after Tony Asaro's towering home run to left field. So Nick Jones, another kid over 6 feet on this Warrior team, 6'1", 165, and another senior. Swings and misses at that one. So now Paez, after giving up a leadoff triple, has an opportunity to strike out the side. Just flared down the right field line. Just getting some metal on the ball. So Steven Paez on the mound, 6'2" senior. One of the offensive leaders on this team, also leads the team in ERA. 2.21 ERA for Steven Paez. Try to get Jones to chase a bad one. So the Warriors have scouted Paez pretty well, waiting on pitches that are on the outside part of the plate and sending it the other way. So Jones calls timeout there. Paez, one runner over third base. Mark Osland is on triple. He hold up. Yes, he did. As Membreno asking the bases umpire if Jones went around. So that makes it 2-2 now as Jones and a good little chess match with Paez, with 2 down in the top of the second and a man on third. Oh boy, what a pitch that was. As Paez got the knees on the inside corner for a called strike 3. So all Paez does after giving up the leadoff triple is knock him down 1, 2, 3 via the strikeout. We go to the bottom of the second with the Olympians trailing the Warriors 1-0 on Channel 22 Sports. Steven Paez, the Olympian who just struck out the side, is up, bounces one towards first base. Torrance, or check that to Bensoa, will do it himself. Well, the Olympians went up and down so quickly in the first inning, we didn't have a chance to go over the Warriors defense for you, so why don't we do that now? As coming up is James Adauto, looks at a ball up high. Tony Asaro is in left field, Matt Rockmore is in center, Nick Jones is in right. Hans pitch is a one hopper to Leamy. Throws it over to Bensoa. And another putout for Leamy and the Warriors. Another assist, I should say. The putout goes to Bensoa, 5-3. Hector Diaz will step in, the first baseman. Diaz, 6'4" junior, hitting .424. But Hans is all business. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Warriors. Nice curveball. Might have even been a little bit of a slider now. It's 0-2 to Diaz. Diaz, like we said, .424, doesn't have a home run, but does have RBIs, and looks at strike three called on the corner. And 1-2-3 go the Olympians again. First strikeout for Hans. No runs, no hits, nobody left for the go to the third inning as the Warriors are leading the Olympians 1-0 on Channel 22 Sports. John Fitch, the bottom of the order, will lead it off for the Warriors, followed by Matt Rockmore and Dan Torres, as the first pitch from Stephen Paez to Fitch is a strike. Paez has been impressive. Only one bad pitch, that was over the wall in left field in the top of the first inning, as that one was called a strike right at the knees, just below the. Tony Asaro with a big home run for the Warriors, and the way Paez is pitching, that might be it. Jonathan pops this one up over second base. Second base. Villanueva says he has it and puts it away. So one down. That'll bring up the top of the order and Matt Rockmore. Rockmore, 5'11", 190. Another member of this veteran Warrior team. The Rocket, as they call him, batting .338. Coming into today's game is 0 for 1. So both Rockmore and Paez taking their time. Rockmore with no home runs sends a fly ball into center field. That sends Adauto back to the wall, and that is a home run for Rockmore. His first one of the year, and boy, is it a big one. That goes over dead center field. Here we were just saying that Rockmore hadn't had a home run yet, and boom, there he goes. So for Rockmore, that is RBI number 8. And it's 2-0 in favor of the Warriors over the Olympians. And now Johnny Membremo wants to talk to Stephen Paez and his third baseman, Sal Zambrano. So I guess if there's a silver lining to the 2 home runs, they were solo shots. That brings up Dan Torres, who struck out in the first inning. Torres now down 0-1. 5'9", 160-pound junior playing second base today. Batting .300. Taps this one. Can Paez get it? No. Torres runs well, and the throw got him. Good play by Jeff Villanueva, and a nice stretch by Hector Diaz to nail him. So that chopper just got by Paez. Charging in was Villanueva, and Diaz was there to pick off a nice throw. That'll bring up Tony Asaro, who's going to Pepperdine when he finishes up here. Or at West, I should say. Asaro with a big home run to get things started off in the top of the first inning with 2 outs. Boy, he even stands in there like a power hitter. Has that power hitter's grunt as he sends a fly ball into center field. Adauto waits for it to come down. And that's 3 down. But the damage is done as the leadoff man, Matt Rockmore, hits a home run to dead center field as we go into the bottom of the third inning with the Olympians down to the Warriors 2-0 on Channel 22 Sports. Olympians looking for their first hit off of Philip Hans as the designated hitter James Dickey steps in, swings and misses at the first delivery. This one is popped down the first baseline, and it goes right to Aaron Bensoa for the first out. So it's a pop out in foul territory for the first out. That'll bring up Johnny Membreno, the catcher. Membreno batting just .148. But he does have a home run, and that was a solo shot because he only has 1 RBI. This one's down low. Good fastball. That almost got a guy up on the Channel 22 riser. And that one hit him. So it's an off-speed pitch. And that one hit Johnny Membreno, but that's the first base runner of the game, and they'll take it. So still looking for their first hit off of Hunt. No runs, no hits for the Olympians. Hans delivers a base hit into right field. So there it is, the first hit of the game for the Olympians, and they have something going here in the bottom of the third inning. That was just a good piece of hitting that was up around the eyes as Phillips sent it into right field. So the bottom of the order gets it going. Now the order and Jeff Villanueva. Villanueva popped out to the second baseman, Dan Torres, who made a nice play to go way into foul ground to track down a pop fly. So Joel Romero, the coach at third base for Leuzinger, wants to do some little ball. We're in the bottom of the third inning. It's 2-0 Warriors. Villanueva looking bunt. Now he puts the bat back down. 2 on, and the bunt is one hopped and throws over to third onto first for the double play, and Villanueva is safe. But a good play by the pitcher Hans to get the ball over to Leamy covering at third. So 1-5 on the putout, and that's 2 down. on the fielder's choice. So Villanueva's at second, or I should say at first. Over at second is Kevin Phillips, and Saul Zambrano steps in. And misses at the fastball. Saul playing third base, hit one over to third base for the second out in the first inning. Has a chance to cash in a run and have the lead. Breaking ball and a snap throw down to first by Quintero with a good arm. So now it's 0-2 to Zambrano. Strike three called, and well, if you got to say one thing, Thomas P. Hanrahan is being consistent, calling those low pitches for strikes, and down go the Olympians with runners in scoring position. No runs on one hit and two left. We'll go to the top of the fourth inning with the Warriors leading the Olympians 2-0 on Channel 22 Sports. Leuzinger trying to put the lid on the Warriors' home run bats as they trail 2-0 on home runs by Tony Asaro and Matt Rockmore. Solo shots, but still hurting pretty bad, especially when Leuzinger, who is 0-4 in the Bay League, just needs some runs. This one is smoked into center field for a leadoff base hit on the first pitch by Kyle Leamy. So Leamy, who had bounced out to Paez in the first inning, is on, and that'll send up the designated hitter, Mark Osland. Osland led off the second with and was stranded there as Paez did some nice pitching, struck out the side after that. With 4 strikeouts, trails 2-0. So the Warriors are up there swinging. Osland came into today's game batting .271. Just nothing different about Mark's uniform from everyone else are on the Warriors. He's got black shoes. Everyone else has the white shoes with the glittery Puma stripe. He's also wearing a brown helmet. The other guys wearing yellow helmets. Osland is the designated hitter for pitcher Phil Bonds as this breaking ball stays a little low. Thomas Hanrahan behind the plate calling balls and strikes. C. on the bases. Over at first with a small lead is Kyle Leamy, being held by Hector Diaz. On another good break. Osland stands up in the batter's box, and now the pickoff move. That's not the best we've seen from Paez, but keep down 2-0. Paez came down, almost sidearmed that one, and that's fouled away. Well, the set's good. in the area. Hawthorne with some Leuzinger with some pitchers. Channel 22, we've seen some good pitchers like from City and now West. That one's in 2-2. So a lot of these college scouts are just salivating all that good pitching. Infield looking for Oslin, down 2-2, and goes down looking. Strike 3 called. Got number 5 for Paez. That'll bring up Kyle Quintero. So Steven Paez with 5 strikeouts in just 4 innings. Struck out the side in the second. 1 down. Quintero was one of those strikeout victims in the second. Looking to bunt his man over. Here comes Zambrano down third. This one gets away from Zambrano and down to second base without a throw is Kyle Leamy. So the wild pitch gets away from Zambrano. And now Quintero can hit away. So another runner in scoring position. That one's down low, so it's now 2 to Kyle Quintero. Kyle came into today's game batting .311. Up, a fly out of play. So it's 2-1 now. So Leuzinger, since the Bay League's opened up, just hasn't been able to do anything. He win over the side. But the upside, says Joel Romero, is everyone's still fighting hard and playing together. That's the good thing about this. You got to play together. 2-1 to Quintero, and paces Leamy back to second. Leamy singled to lead off the 4th inning. Just ripped it right by the ear of Paez into center field, and then is now on second base via the wild pitch. Bouncer to shortstop. Randolph gobbles it up and throws it on to first, and that's 2 down. 6-4 on the putout, and that'll bring up Aaron Bensoa. So that's the first chance Kalaran Randolph has gotten to see the ball today at shortstop. He's just fun to watch. So is Steven Paez. Just a good one right down the middle. He says, hello there, Mr. Bensoa. This is the only one you're going to get that you're going to like. Aaron struck out swinging in the top of the second. Bounces that one in. So Paez has stayed away from that inside corner at the knees from the right-handed batters lately. Pops this one up. Membreno says he has it and puts it away, but goes to his knees to get it, but it's still counted as an out. So no runs on a hit and one man left for the Warriors as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Leuzinger trailing West 2-0 on Channel 22 Sports. Calera Randolph sends it high and deep into left field and gone. Home run for Randolph, and it's 2-1 Warriors. So Big Calera comes up and delivers. And for Randolph, that's his second home run of the year and his second RBI. Check that. That's his 11th RBI. So big home run for Calera and Randolph. Didn't waste any time. The first pitch and sent it up into the wind, and all Tony Asaro could do was wave bye-bye to that one. So now he knows what it looks like because Asaro homered in the top of the first inning. Steven Paez now breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief as now the lead is cut in half. Low inside corner. Good pitch by Philip Hans. So that's just the second hit of the ball game given up by Hans, and boy, was it a big one. Into right field for a base hit by Paez. And maybe the Olympians have found a chink in Hans' armor. That'll bring up James Adauto, who grounded out to third in the second inning. Adauto ran out of room back in the third inning when Matt Rockmore rocketed his first home run of the year to dead center field. Nice pitch by Hans. A little bit of a hit and run going on there, and it's fouled back. Good piece of hitting by Adauto just to foul that one off. It was up in the strike zone. Paez had to get back on his belly on that one. Nice move by Hans over to first. So time is called as Paez trying to get the dirt out of his swing. Don't want any extra weight holding down pockets. This one's hacked at and fouled away. That's the old tomahawk chop by Adauto. Hans looks over at Paez at first base, deals an off-speed pitch, and fouled away. Steven Paez gets a nice lead over at first base, had a base hit to right field after the home run by Calera and Randolph to make it 2-1 Warriors. Swung on and missed, and down goes Adauto. So Hans gave him the heater right around the letters, and Adauto couldn't find it. So strikeout number 3 for Philip Hans, and that'll bring up Hector Diaz, the first baseman who struck out looking to end the second inning. And the ball gets away from Quintero, and Pye will go down to second base. And that was low and outside. But Quintero knows he should have had that one. Looks at his glove to see if he missed it. I have to give him a pass ball on that one. Now Hans is just coming with heat. As Diaz whacking his helmet with his bat, saying, geez, I wish I could have that one back. 1-1 to Hector Diaz. Steven Paez is at second base with one out. Here comes the pitch. That's low. 2-1. Diaz has 6 RBI, has 5 doubles out of his 14 hits. Base hit would score Paez. This one's grounded to second base. Torres comes up with it and flicks it over, and on the play, Paez goes down to third base. So Diaz moves the runner along, and it'll be up to Jason Dickey to knock him in, the designated hitter. With 2 down in the bottom of the 4th, and Leuzinger trailing West 2-1. Well, the way Hans was sailing along, it looked like the Olympians weren't going to get a whole lot, but this has been their biggest inning by far. This one's chopped towards shortstop, picked up by Fitch, throws it over to first, and that'll do it for the Olympians in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 run on 2 hits, a runner left, and the score is cut in half by the Olympians. 2-1 Warriors lead. Leuzinger on Channel 22 Sports. Back at Leuzinger High School, it's Bay League action on Lawndale Hawthorne Community Television, Channel 22. Glad you joined us. I'm Luz Dowers, along with Tom Strickfaden and the crew. We're already in the 5th inning. Top of the 5th inning is 2-1 Warriors. Nick Jones, Jonathan Fitch, and Mac Rockmore will be the hitters against Steven Paez, who has 5 strikeouts, also with a hit. Jones looking to bunt his way on there. That one goes way up high. The Olympians looking for their first Bay League win. They've lost 4 in a row since an impressive win over Morningside, 11-8. This one's up high, 2-0. Jones struck out looking in the 2nd. And this one, an off-speed pitch, settles in at that nice little corner inside at the knees. Three and 1. The Warriors have won 2 out of their last 3. Their last game was against Rancho Santa Margarita. Beat them 8-7. They're an impressive team down in South Orange County. This one sent down the right field line, could be trouble, and just goes foul. Out of the reach of Salvador Ramirez. These Warrior hitters know where that right field line is. That's a sign of good hitting coaching, good coaching. So now the count is full at 3-2 for Nick Jones. The advantage for Leuzinger, trying to snap that 4-game losing streak, are 5-3 here at home. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Another impressive pitch by Paez for his 6th strikeout. So the RBI leader for the Bay League really knocking him down on the mound. Yep. Stephen Paez with 17 RBIs leads the league. Another one sent the other way. Salvador Ramirez has to go over to make the catch, and down is Jonathan Fitch. That'll bring up the top of the order and Matt Rockmore, who really put a charge into it last time up. Dead center field for his first home run of the year. That made it 2-1. So right now, Rock is the difference in the ball game. Well, Matt Rockmore, a senior center fielder, 5'11", 190. Probably one of the big men on campus as he grounds it to third base. Zambrano makes a wild throw, and on is Rockmore on the error by Zambrano. Zambrano knew he had to hurry because it was a slow roller through this thick grass. Had to send it all the way across. And these Warrior hitters love to go the other way. First error of the ball game. This has been a very well played game, very quick game. Just about an hour into this one. That'll bring up Dan Torres 0 for 2. Torres looking bunt with 2 down. And Paez steps off the rubber. Ground ball to the hole, smothered by Randolph, and that keeps the runner at second base as Calera and Randolph made a nice play just to keep the ball in the infield. So it's an infield hit. But over at second base now is more. And Tony Asaro, who also has a home run, hit his 3rd home run to left field back in the top of the 1st. Now Joel Romero wants to do his infield and Stephen Paez. Now we were talking about Matt Rockmore and the success that he's had with the Warriors as a senior, outgoing senior. Now, don't cry any crocodile tears for him because he signed a letter of intent to go to Hawaii. Boy, that's going to be tough duty. Playing in Honolulu there in that beautiful Palm Line Stadium. And right down the street there is Waikiki Beach with all those wahinis. Boy, I really feel for you, pal. So we got a timeout in the action here. Is now Thomas P. Hanrahan, the umpire, wants to break that meeting up on the mound as Joel Romero probably wanted to set up his defense and said, please, whatever you do, don't give this guy a fat one. Asaro came in hitting .299. Is 1 for 2 with the towering home run to left field and then hit one hard to center field. Looks at the first pitch for a strike. 2 on, 2 down in the top of the 5th inning. 2-1 Warriors over the Olympians. Paez, the left-hander, with 6 strikeouts. Looks back, deals, up high. I don't know if you saw that, but Paez, before he delivered to Asaro, gave a look back a la El Tiante just before he threw the ball, just to keep the runner at second, Rockmore, close. Rockmore at second, Torres at first for the Warriors. This one gets away from Membreno, but no one's going anywhere. And again, the short backstop really helps out Johnny Membreno and the Olympians. So Johnny adjusting his equipment behind the plate. Now we're ready to go. So Rockmore at second base trying to be a distraction to Paez, who has enough to deal with the sorrow at the plate. And he sends it high and deep into left field again. And back goes Phillips and Adato, and it's off the wall. 1 run scores, and by the time the ball gets back to Randolph, it's 3-1 on the double by Asaro. So that's 2 RBI for Asaro. It makes it 3-1. Scoring on the play is Rockmore, and over to third base is Dan Torres. That'll bring up Kyle Leamy, the third baseman, who had a base hit back in the 4th inning and bounced out to Paez in the 1st. So Paez was sailing along in the top of the 1st, got the 2 first men out, and then Rockmore got on the error, so that now really hurts as Rockmore comes all the way around to score on the double by Asaro. This one's fouled back. So Rockmore's run is unearned. As the clouds start to get thicker off to the west. 3-1 now, Warriors over the Olympians. And this one bounces away from Membreno down to third base. They got a man over at second base. 2 men are over at third. As now the throw goes down to second, and under the tag, is he? No. C.W. Allen calls out Asaro at second base as he ran down to third because Torres did not come home because of the short backstop. So what a confusion that was. The ball got by Membreno. Asaro came down to third, wasn't looking down at Torres, who was on third, and then by the time he did, it was too late. So 1 run on 2 hits and 1 man left. We go into the bottom of the 5th inning with the Warriors up 3-1 over the Olympians on Channel 22 Sports. With the big situation, runners at second and third, 2 out. Membreno had the ball get by him, but there's only about 12 feet between home plate and backstop here at Leuzinger High. This one's down low, 1-1 to Membreno, who was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Membreno caught Tony Asaro of the Warriors coming down from second to third, and then the man on at third. This one's bunted, goes right back to the pitcher Hans and throws him out. So Asaro was standing at third base, but then so was Dan Torres, who didn't try to come home. So Membreno chased Torres back to third base, and all the while watched Asaro try to scamper back to second, but made a nice throw and was tagged out. So 1 down, that'll bring up Kevin Phillips. Looks at a strike. 3-1 Warriors. 3 runs on 6 hits. This one's outside. 1-1. 1 run on 3 hits for the Olympians. Inside now, 2-1. Well, these 2 teams will see each other again in a couple of days. This one's chopped up the third baseline. Does it stay fair? Nope. Hanrahan calls it foul. Said it stayed right there, as now John Cowan comes out and says, where was it? And we've had a change at catcher. Kyle Quintaro has been replaced by Mason Morioka. down goes Phillips. That's strikeout number 4 for Hans. And now it's 2 down in the 5th inning for Jeff Villanueva, the top of the order for the Olympians. Marioka comes in for Quintero. First one is outside. So Hans throwing gas right now. Don't see any scouts here with any radar guns. But he's throwing. He's really bringing it. Strike on the outside corner. Not only that, it's got a little bit of movement on it. It gets down to you. So Villanueva looks at a ball down low. It's 3-1. Jeff popped out in foul territory. Now sends one down the left field line. Tony Asaro going for it, but it goes out of play. So now the count is full at 3-2. And Villanueva will do it again, looking for his first hit of the game. Was on a fielder's choice back in the 3rd and popped out in foul territory. And a good play by Dan Torres. This one's chopped towards Hans. Good fielder. Waits for his first baseman to get there, and that'll do it for the Olympians in the top of the 5th inning. 1-2-3 go the Olympians, and we'll go to the top of the 6th with West High School still leading Leuzinger make that 3-1 on Channel 22 Sports. Sixth inning, just about ready to get underway at Leuzinger High School on Channel 22 Sports. Leuzinger trailing West 3-1. Kyle Leamy steps in. Is 1 for 2, had a base hit back in the 4th inning. Sends this one high into center field. Going for it is Adauto and puts it away. So first pitch swinging and sends a line drive out to center field. That'll bring up Mark Osland, the designated hitter, who is 1 for 2. Had a booming triple into right field. Sliced it down the line. Just got enough of it to stay in fair territory. Swings and misses at a Paez fastball. Then Steven Paez got him looking back in the 4th inning. Sends this one high and deep to left center field. Adauto leaps up, and that one is gone. So another home run for West, their 3rd of the ball game, and that makes it 4-1 Warriors over the Olympians. So Osland with the big home run, a 1-out home run. Well, that 5th home run of the year and his 16th RBI. So that makes it 4-1. And just when Leuzinger thought that they were going to scratch and claw back into this one. Line drive right into the glove of Claren Randolph. Had to move over a few steps, but his range is from second base, or actually about halfway to first base, to third base. Has a lot of range. That'll bring up Aaron Bensoa, 0 for 2. Well, check that. We have a substitute now, number 55, Kyle Petter. Petter is in for Nick Jones. Or check that, Aaron Bensoa. So first chance for Petter to look at Steven Paez. Looks at that sneaky fastball up around the eyes and hacks it foul. So Petter is just a freshman. Trying to get some hacks in against Leuzinger. Kyle Petter without a hit so far this season. This one goes low and away, 1-1. So 3 home runs for the Warriors has really put a mess into it, and this ball's going to go right down by us, out of play. So you hear it bouncing around the football stands. That makes it 1-2 now to Kyle Petter. This is Kyle's second at bat, according to the stats that we get. And calls for time. Lanky left-hander. Just a freshman trying to impress everybody. Puts his bat on the ball and sends that foul. So Petter hanging in there. Mark Osland is also a freshman, believe it or not. All 6'2", 180 of him, with 5 home runs and 6 RBI, just homered 2 batters ago. So the future is certainly bright for the Warriors. This one sails outside. Also, the catcher that's in now, Mason Marioka, is also a freshman. So 3 freshmen on the varsity roster for West High. This one's low. So Petter fighting with Steven Paez gets a full count. And Paez with 6 strikeouts on the day, but has also given up 3 home runs. Grounds it to third base, and boy, that gobbled up Zambrano. And that'll be his first hit as a Warrior. Really can't fault Zambrano on that one, as that just ate him alive. As all these hitters seem to know how to go the other way. And now we have a pinch runner for Petter. That'll be Aaron Bensoa. So Bensoa comes back in. So Nick Jones comes in, a strikeout victim, looking both times to Paez. Hits this one off the end of the bat, picked up by Diaz, and he'll do it himself for the final out of the top of the 6th inning. 1 run on a big home run by the freshman Mark Osland on 2 hits and 1 man. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Olympians trailing 4-1 on Channel 22 Sports. Zambrano bunts it right back to the pitcher. We have a new pitcher No, no, it's still Philip Hans, pardon me. And Hans throws him out. So it's 4-1. And happy that you joined us on Channel 22 Sports, our Bay League presentation. Leuzinger High School is where we are. And the Olympians are hosting West Warriors, and Randolph steps in. Couldn't hold up on that Han cheese. Calerin has made a couple of slick plays at shortstop and also whacked his third home run of the year in the fourth inning. Is 1 for 2. Trying to get something going again. Fastball down low from Philip Hans. In his sixth inning of work, neither pitcher has walked a batter. But the long ball has really bitten hard as Randolph sends this one high into center field. Rockmore puts it away for the second out of the inning. So Randolph tried to get another one out, but just didn't get enough of it. Couldn't get those arms extended. And that'll bring up Stephen Paez, who was 1 for 12. Bounced a base hit to right field. Was stranded at third after the home run by Randolph, as he sends this one into left field. And that'll do it for the Olympians in the top of the sixth inning. 1-2-3 goes Leuzinger to Philip Hans. We'll go to the seventh inning with the Warriors leading the Olympians 4-1 on Channel 22 Sports. Back at Leuzinger High School, Lou Stowers along with the Channel 22 crew being led by Tom Strickfaden, as Leuzinger High is trailing West High 4-1 in the top of the seventh inning. Jonathan Fitch steps in against Stephen Paez, looks at a ball in the dirt. 3 home runs by the Warriors. That's been the story. 1 home run by Calerin Randolph, but it was a solo shot. All home runs have been solo shots. Asaro in the first, Rockmore in the third inning, and then Osland in the sixth. As Paez tried to sidearm that one in, but Fitch wasn't biting. Slings that one in for a strike. As Fitch taking all the way. Nice little breaking ball, and that sends Fitch to first base with just low and inside. So that's the first walk of the ball game by either pitcher. That'll bring up the top of the order, and Matt Rockmore had his first home run in the third inning. So C.W. Allen calls time. C.W. Allen, the baseline coach, or the baseline umpire. Speaking of coaches, got Juan Cueva, the head baseball coach, at third, and John Cowan over at first for West High. Paez with a nice move that almost caught John Fitch napping at first base. Paez is going all the way. Nobody up and throwing. Another move that gets Fitch back. But I can hear some gloves popping over in the West High bullpen area. So just the start of the top of the 7th inning. The Olympians are getting positioned. Now they're on base. So big hole on the right side for Rockmore to hit to. But that one is called a strike. Next pitch, and that's a strike called as well. So Rockmore has a count 2-2 with nobody out and a man on first. Paez walked Fitch to start off the 7th, chasing him back again. Just wants to keep him close. So Rockmore came into the game batting .338, but hit his first home run in the 3rd inning. This one's bounced to second, on to Randolph, who tried to make the play too quickly, and everybody's safe. So Jeff Villanueva made a nice throw over to Claren Randolph, but he tried to get the ball out of his glove too soon and lifted it up, and it wasn't even there. So we'll have to give the error on the play to Randolph. Rockmore is on first with a fielder's choice, and that'll be up to Dan Torres now. Check that. Got Mason Marioka. Marioka with his first at bat. Another one of the freshmen fouls it away. Morioka has a .667 average, his 2 hits and his 3 at bats. So he's up there swinging. He's not there looking around. Morioka also has 2 RBI. So still nobody out, top of the 7th inning. And the pace is slowed down a bit as the Olympians are trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Paez checking the runner. Randolph back at second, and the throw goes over there. So Randolph, you really have to wonder why Villanueva didn't go over there to cover the bag, because that opened the hole between at shortstop there when Randolph left, and Morioka is a right-handed batter. Fastball or curveball, and that's in the dirt. Throw down to third base. Tag is out. Zambrano tags out the runner. Jonathan Fitch is out 2-5, and that's the first out of the inning. So again, this short backstop comes into play for Johnny Membreno and the Olympians. But on the play, Matt Rockmore goes down to second base. Paez looking for strikeout number 7. This one's tipped foul. So the inning started off when Jonathan Fitch walked, and then a botched double play attempt put Toom in at first and second. Then a pickoff play, or actually a pass ball, a wild pitch, and Fitch was thrown out at third base. So that one gets away from Membreno. So Fitch was thrown out at third by Membreno. So just one out in the seventh. Now Joel Romero wants to talk it over with home plate umpire Thomas P. Hanrahan just to get things straight. And it's 2-2. Try to get the count straight. Everybody's happy, and we're going to get back going. Everybody's got their sign, and Paez going to deliver the 2-2 pitch with one down and one on. Swung on a missed, strike three. The ball gets away from Membreno, throws down to first, and that's two down. Two down in the top of the seventh, and Tony Asaro, who is 2 for 3, steps in. Hit a long shot to left field for his third home run of the year. And then an RBI double back in the fifth inning. And Paez says, I don't want anything to do with him. And Joel Romero says, just put him on board. So that's the second walk, intentionally, although it is. And that'll put up Kyle Leamy. And this one has a charge into it, and it's off the wall in right center field. Coming around to score is Rockmore, and into second base is Tony Asaro on the double by Kyle Leamy. There's a tall chain link fence in right and right center to protect the apartment complex, and that one hopped the wall. So Rockmore scores his third run of the ball game. And Asaro is over at third base. And that'll bring up the freshman, Mark Osland. Osland got his fifth home run back in the sixth inning, struck out in the fourth, and tripled in the second. So Osland looking for his third hit of the game. Paez just wants to get out of this one. Good strike at the knees. Paez has been staying away from that one, finally found it. Paez without a strikeout in this inning, didn't strike anybody out in the sixth. And that took something off of it, and it's strike two, 1-2. Also no home runs, no strikeouts in the third inning. Two outs, a man at second for Osland. Paez looking back, now deals. That one hit him. So each pitcher has hit a batter now. That one went right off the meat on the back of the leg, on the calf of Osland. And that'll bring up Quintero. So Kyle Quintero not playing a catcher anymore. Where Mason Morioka took over for him behind the plate. And all of a sudden now, Stephen Paez is having trouble finding the strike zone, as this is the 7th batter to come up in the 7th inning. As Quintero sends it to left field, it could be trouble, and it drops in front of Phillips. 1 run scores, 2 run scores. Here comes another runner in, and that's 3 runners in. As a bases clearing double by Kyle Quintero. So 7-1 is the score. Check that, 8-1. So a bases loaded double by Kyle Quintero really does the Olympians in here in the top of the 7th. That'll bring up Bensoa as that ball falls into center field. Here comes the throw to the plate, and sliding in safely is Quintero on the RBI hit by Bensoa. That makes it 9-1. That'll bring up Nick Jones, the 9th man to come to the plate in the top of the 7th inning. So a close ball game. The Warriors have just busted down the barn door. This one goes off the glove, and now Villanueva can't find it. Goes into short center field, and everybody's safe. As that ball just had eyes, nobody could find it. Paez got a glove on it, but then it got also through. It got through Villanueva. So 2 down, and with 2 down, it was Kyle Quintero's 3-run double as Fitch sends it foul down the left field line. Fitch started off the top of the 7th by walking, and then was thrown out at third trying to advance on a wild pitch. So it's 9-1 in favor of the Warriors. Curveball bends in for a strike. 1-1 now to Jonathan Fitch, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 on, 2 down for the Warriors. Fastball at the knees, and that'll do it for the Warriors. 5 runs on, let's see, how many hits did we have there? 1, 2, 3 hits, and we had 2 men left. We go into the bottom of the 7th inning. Last call for the Olympians. It's 9-1. Warriors over Leuzinger on Channel 22 Sports. Last call for the Olympians in the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be James Adauto, Hector Diaz, and Jason Dickey to face Philip Hans. So the last inning was not pretty by any means, as ground ball towards a hole at short can't be picked up by Fitch. Well, he does get it, but by the time he does get it, Adauto's over at first base with a base hit to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Joel Romero told us that these Olympians won't go down without a fight, and there you go. There's a perfect example. But boy, that one inning sure just did him in the top of the seventh, giving up 5 runs and only 3 hits and an error. Couple of walks and an intentional walk. Fastball by Hans stays high. Hector Diaz 0 for 2 today. He and James Adauto lead the team in batting average. 424 coming in. Vance Albitz from South leads as there's a base hit into the gap in left center field. Coming up with it in a hurry is Rockmore. The throw in into third. Adauto is in at third base. On the double now, that was a base hit actually, and going on to second on the throw is Hector Diaz. So good base running by James Adauto, being aggressive. And that'll bring up Jason Dickey. Jonathan Alvarez is coming in now to pinch hit for Dickey. Alvarez, hitting .222, has played in 8 games. As Joel Romero just looking for a spark. Trailing 9-1. That one fouled off of the ankle and out of play. Alvarez has 2 hits and 9 at-bats. Has struck out 4 times. Scored a run. Has an opportunity to get his first 2 RBI. Grounded, just foul down the third baseline. So now it's 1-2 to Alvarez. Jonathan is a 5'6" senior. Listed as a right fielder and a left fielder. Now in a pinch hitting role for the Olympians, trailing by 8, and that one really fooled Alvarez as Hans has his 5th strikeout of the day. So 1 down. That'll bring up Johnny Membreno. Membreno 0 for 1 was also hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning and was stranded at second. A high breaking pitch, and that's fouled away. So the troubles continue for Leuzinger, who couldn't get anything across against South, who leads the Bay League at 4-0, 14-9 overall. Lost 8-0 there, then 13-3 in the first game. And this off-speed pitch by Hans is way outside. Johnny Membreno with an open stance, hits it high in the air into left field. Actually, it's right over shortstop. Jonathan Fitch puts it away. 2 down in the bottom of the 7th. That'll bring up Kevin Phillips. It'll be up to him to keep the inning alive with 2 runners on and 2 out in the bottom of the 7th. Phillips is 1 for 2, had a base hit back in the 3rd and struck out in the 5th. Low and outside the first pitch. So Hans hasn't walked anybody in his 6 2/3. Hit a man. Now looking to shut the door on the Olympians. A high heater, and Phillips can't find it. 1-1. Thank you. Ground ball to second. This could do it. Throws it over, and that does it. That's the ball game, as it was Torres over to Bensoa, and that'll do it for the Olympians in this ball game. So no runs on 2 hits and 2 men left as the game goes to the West High Warriors 9-1. And what a game it was for Philip Hans on the mound. Goes all the way, went 7 innings, and struck out 5. So it was 1 run on 2 hits given up, or check that, 1 run on 5 hits given up by the Olympians. And for the West Warriors, it was 9 runs on 11 hits. Losing pitcher is Steven Paez, who had 6 strikeouts overall in his 7 innings, walked 2 batters, 1 intentionally, had a wild pitch, and gave up 3 home runs to the West Warriors. The big warrior of the day was Tony Asaro, who had a home run, a run-scoring double, and then an intentional walk and came in on the big bases-loaded double by Kyle Quintero in the top of the 7th inning. So the West Warriors are now 6-1 away from West High School, as they will host Leuzinger in a couple of days. So they improve overall to 13-8 and improve to 3-2 in Bay League action. And they'll wait to see what Palos Verdes does today, because they're currently tied for 3rd place with Palos Verdes at 2-2. Leuzinger falls to 8-8 overall and 0-5 in Bay League action. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching us on Channel 22 Sports, Lawndale Hawthorne Community Television. I also want to thank a couple of guys where, you know what, we couldn't really do this at Leuzinger, not only in baseball but also basketball and football. These guys are just something else. I want to thank Leuzinger High Theater manager Matt Carver and also his assistant Big Lou. Now, I lost that piece of paper that we were so careful about not losing, but the wind just blew it all away. So Sweet Lou and Matt Carver, thank you very much for helping us out here at Leuzinger High. Also, as handed a note, Claire Randolph is Willie Randolph's cousin. Of course, you also know that Willie Randolph is the manager of the Mets now, and a terrific player with the New York Yankees for all of those years. Well, this is Lou Stowers for Tom Strickfaden and the crew, thanking you for tuning in as, well, we go away disappointed as Leuzinger loses 9-1 to West High School. We'll see you soon on Lawndale Hawthorne Community Television, Channel 22.